The views and opinions expressed on the Damned Podcast do not necessarily represent the official policy or positions of any agency or business. Now let's start the show. Hey guys, welcome to the Bomb Podcast. I'm your host, David MD. If you're not familiar with the podcast, basically if you're within driving distance, I get to talk to you about bombing at life, bombing at love, and bombing on stage. With me today, my guest did not even have to drive here. She was already here because I live with her. Ladies and gentlemen, my lovely family, Sam Smith, and our son, Max McCool Smith, MD. A, B, C, D, E. We're going to go with the fucking alphabet at the end of that one there. So we were driving home. We're trying to figure out like what we're going to talk about on the bomb today. I know you as a person do not like to talk about the failings there. You know,
I hate talking about my failings at life. Well, because it was frowned upon when I was a child.
Yeah.
To talk about. We kept everything inside.
Yeah.
Years of therapy later. Now I know. It's good to talk about things. It's still hard, very, 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 very hard for me.
Yeah.
But
I think the more you approach your failings from a lighthearted, positive point of view, because the thing is, once you learn about your failings, you can figure out how you either grew from that or things to avoid and everything. And like half of my content here is about, you know, the bodily functions. Like you can't really take much from that. Moving on.
You can't really take anything from that.
But I know you didn't want to talk about that. I know a lot of people have been saying like, oh, you let your guests talk way too much, which I think's weird. I feel like I talk way too much through most of my podcast. But I figure today we'll let you be more of a co-host and throw questions to me.
Okay.
But one of the things that we did, we've gone over the list. I think it's about 18, 20 questions, and we really haven't gotten much to squeeze out of these questions. But before we got started, I brought up the last topic, which is usually our closer, talking about the bomb-ass decade, the 90s.
Bomb-ass decade. My ass.
And that's what I was going to introduce everybody to this conversation, is that you do not understand the fascination of the 90s.
Right.
But for I
don't like it. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Well, for a little background, so you were born February of 90.
90. Mm-hmm.
Your first memories, your first full day of a memory was 9/11.
Yeah.
Because
I was 11 years old.
Yeah. You were intimately acquainted with the events of that. And that's as far as I'll go into that.
Yeah.
But you were trying to understand why people were so infatuated with the 90s.
Just because everything is just glossed over before 9/11. Before it, and just like fuzzy.
Yeah. And that's of your memory.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to explain to you was the reason why we, us that remember the 90s, romanticized is I believe it's our last true decade of innocence. Like I was telling you off air, is I believe the 90s didn't die 1 January 2000. Right. I believe the 90s, the attitude of the 90s, died, September 11th, the morning of September 11th.
Right.
One of the things I was telling one of our guests, I forget which guest it was saying that watch the VMAs from 2001. They were recorded mid-August. And as I was unpacking this for you, I realized it was a perfect example. Yeah. Unfortunately, for those listening, Limp Bizkit won, I think, his music video of the year that year on the VMAs. Remember, this is mid-August 2001.
Yep. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Rage Against the Machine got so pissed that they lost to Limp Bizkit that one of their band members literally jumped across the crowd. Like he was in like the 10th row. He gets up and starts walking across like the seats of like this theater onto the stage. And I was trying to explain like, that the laid backness of that. But then I was like, hold on a second. If someone were to do that now, that's all you can do is contrast it to now. Is if somebody in a crowd got up in the middle of the fucking VMAs and did that stuff, you'd consider them one of two things. Either an active shooter or a bomb threat and everything. And the morning of September 11th is when all of that changed. So before that, in the 90s, if somebody, like, granted, we had Columbine, we had the Olympic bombings, we had, Timothy McVeigh and everything. But, like, all of that came into, like, stark focus when over 2,000 people died, in 2001.
Right.
So when we look back, because everything now has, like, a weight to it, is if a crazy person runs across the street, you're like, is that person about to stab somebody? Like, for some reason, it's just reality just sets in different.
Right.
Where back in the 90s, just like, whatever. Like, those kind of things happen. But now it's like, if this person, like, if you found powder back in the 90s in your envelope, you'd be like, oh, somebody left their cocaine in my mailbox. Now it's like, oh my God, anthrax and, like, all this shit.
Right.
I think that's why we over romanticize it, is that it was our last decade of innocence.
Okay. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, I still don't remember it. So it's one of those things, like, it's really, really hard for me to, one, come on this podcast because you love it so much. Because it literally combines two things that I'm completely just not good with. Like, failing and the 90s, because I don't remember it. I just don't. And that's awful. It, like, thinking back on it, like, it's horrible that I don't remember anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it just sucks.
And I think the weird thing is, I think you and your sister have 90s vibes, because, like, if you look back at the fashion and, like, the music and everything, like, everything was laid back, everything was very preppy and everything. I think that was another thing too, is everything was so upbeat in the night. Granted, you had grunge, you had new metal kind of, like, starting to churn, like, negativity, or not negativity, but, like, focusing on, like, their fucked up childhood. So they're bringing, like, up, darkness of the past.
Right.
But, like, all in all, it didn't feel, if you look back at the 90s, it feels very, like, up.
Yeah.
And I think both of you, because also too, because, our culture likes to regurgitate the 2 decades before.
Right.
In the late 90s, we were regurgitating the 60s. So they were trying to, like, reinterpret, like, the Summer of Love.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Yeah, you remember Spice Girls were fucking, at one point were dressed like they're in the 60s and everything. Yeah. So it's kind of sad that you specifically, I imagine your sister has some memories of the 90s.
She does. I just don't. I was affected very much so.
Yeah. It just sucks that you're robbed of that, though. You know? Great TV, Third Rock from the Sun. We
watched that, though.
We didn't get you all the way to the last season.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, so the problem with that was Hulu. I think Hulu had it. But they didn't modernize the video feed. So there was times that when they went, because they took square screen, they went full screen, but they didn't fuck with the frame rate. So there's times when they were panning that, like, it would start doing, like, this weird chopping thing, and you have, sensitivity to motion and, like, all that stuff. Yeah. So one of the direct inspirations to, like, just my comedy timing and vibe and everything was from Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah.
The guy who played Dick, what is his name? John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Just, in the middle of his scenes, you make that declarative, just like, no, we are doing this. Like, something about that has always made me laugh. And he had Harry, with the squinty eyes and everything. Yeah. The funny thing is, the biggest name really to come out of that would be the kid fucking, he was Robin on Batman. Can't remember his fucking name. Fuck. Hold on a second. That is one thing I don't miss about the 90s. You don't remember Netscape Navigator?
What?
Yeah. What? Third Rock from the Sun. Somebody's yelling at their feed right now because they know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the biggest name to come out of the series. Eventually. Because he basically had to graduate college and everything. Fucking Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
He really didn't have a character really intertwined in there, but you had Dick, Harry, and what's her name? Fucking, she's starting to make a Sally.
Yeah.
So that's actually a joke. The names of those people.
No.
So every Dick, Harry, Sally.
Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's how that became. Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Now you're starting to see the subtleties
I
in the show.
understand.
Yep.
Every Tom, Dick, and Harry. That's so funny. Oh, God.
It's so funny because we haven't watched that in 2 years
it's
at least.
I think it was.
And now you're seeing like.
It may have been. Wasn't it before we got married?
Mm-mm. No, I think we were living in Jersey.
Yeah, but we got married in Jersey.
Either that or it was right after we got to Colorado.
Maybe. Oh, it might have been when we moved from the apartment.
Yeah, to our townhouse.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, now you're understanding that. See, I won't say that I knew that. I found out about that because I was doing more research. It's like 90s TV was so awesome, too.
Well,
You know?
now that I went back into it, I guess. I mean, I liked Third Rock from the Sun, but
I think
it was a lot.
Yeah. It's a lot of high energy, awkward humor at times.
I don't deal well with awkwardness
I think
in movies and TV shows and in life.
But you said that I found this out reading an article on cracked.com that people with social anxiety equate social awkwardness with physical pain. Like it's literally watching like torture porn.
Yes.
So
it's so bad. Like it literally makes me cringe. Like so bad. Like internal like squeezing.
It's so weird too.
Horrible.
But I think without watching Third Rock from the Sun, we would have not gotten through The Office. I think we had to do stepping stones to get you to The Office. Which I'm glad that we did.
And then Schitt's Creek after that.
Yeah, Schitt's Creek. We just finished Schitt's Creek.
I really liked it. I really did like it.
See, it was background while I was on my phone. Like, there's times it was funny. I will say good writers and everything.
Yeah.
But nothing pulled me in where it's like, okay, I need to know what's going on with David. I need to know what's going on with Alexis. Always. I knew I knew all the character, like the gist of the characters, but like nothing really pulled me in where I was like, we have to, because you know how I normally push for another episode of a show. I'm like, oh, let's watch this. And like,
well,
it's like
the fact that I liked it and you were like meh about it. What the? I loved like boop.
Fuck.
And like, David. And literally, like, I'll say that to you every day of the week if you want me to, because I will.
The open mic at 3's last week, somebody had the shirt, Ew, David.
Ew.
And she was asking me about Schitt's Creek. I was like, yeah, I finished it. And, like, I didn't put two and two together that she was wearing a Schitt's Creek shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Until I was driving home, and I was just like, oh, like I guess she's that bot. Because I was just like, I told her the same thing. I was like, I watched it, but nothing pulled me in. And I think she was, like, super disappointed for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I literally liked it. And the fact that I really liked it, definitely, there were definitely cringy moments.
See, what's so weird, though, is the cringe is what I find the funniest. Is...
Nope.
And I think that is influenced on some levels on the 90s, too. Is if you look at 90s comedy, stand-up, and alt stand-up, and alt humor and everything.
Right.
Without that stepping stone, I don't think you get to the awkward mockumentary tone of The Office. I don't think you get to...
Which I enjoyed The Office eventually.
After you get past the first season, it's nice because they've figured everything out, which is true of most really good shows, is they have to find their footing first.
But also, like, I saw Facebook memory that you had posted. It was like, we're finally watching The Office, and like, actually, it's pretty. The characters' lives are really sad.
Yeah,
it's like really depressing. If like without the, like,
if it wasn't framed as a comedy, they didn't have
it would have been a tragedy.
Yeah,
like,
if it didn't have an upbeat intro and it wasn't presented like, hey, on NBC, watch this comedy. If you were just given the material without the intro and all that stuff, you'd be like, I'm not sure where these guys are wanting to go.
Yeah.
You know, although it is the day of your birth is still probably one of the funniest things. I want a Dwight Schrute birthday party this year. It is the day of your birth. Like $20 on Amazon. You can find all those. No helium in those balloons. They have to be stapled to the wall. half full.
Oh, God.
I was because the shitty thing with Google Chrome on your phone is if you search stuff long enough, they start pumping you news stories when you go like to your homepage. So one of the things they said was one of the articles was about the episode that literally had to be stopped during recording for the day because they just could not stop laughing was that episode. It literally took them like more than one whatever the time normally is. It took them an extra day because they could not stop giggling.
That's so funny.
At that fucking but yeah, that's the 90s influence and everything.
I
So.
don't know. I just don't think I'll get it.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I know I used to have a toy back in the day that like it was like you pull it and then it just went like it started spinning and flying.
Oh yeah, so you had Polly Pocket, which was the little tiny ones, and I remember the commercial.
No, like it
on
was
the
like
TV.
a Rainbow Dancer or something like
exactly.
that.
The
But
Polly
it wasn't
Pocket.
a Polly Pocket.
I know the Polly Pocket and the Rainbow Dancer were combined on that commercial at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember my 90s cartoons.
I don't.
But yeah, I remember those being very closely. It was either like, hey, we're selling both of these at Toys R Us, or like something.
I just don't remember. Like, I was like, oh, like I remember going to Toys R Us and walking. I'm like, I don't remember any of that.
My parents were too cheap to take me to Toys R Us.
I'm sure. I know I went, so I know I'm sure Sylvia brought us multiple times. But like,
the first time I stepped foot in a Toys R Us, my first son was born. So 22, 23. It was the first time I walked into a Toys R Us.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how deprived of a child I was.
Well, thankfully, our child will want for nothing.
True. As soon as he gets an Amazon account, too. That's the thing. These kids these days with their... That was, I think, another reason why we romanticize... Since 2010, we've romanticized 90s even more. That was the last true decade without the internet and its heavy influence. Granted, you had the .com bubble, and everything, but we didn't realize that social media was on the horizon. We didn't realize that, talking to everybody on the planet has its benefits and its definite drawbacks. So I think it's one of the reasons why we look back is, back in the 90s, who gives a shit about my cell phone? I didn't have a cell phone. I'd run out and play in a creek all day. Granted, I was like 8 years old, but yeah. The last analog decade.
Yeah.
I think is what you can call it. So.
Sorry, he's biting me.
Alrighty. So let us get into the bombs for this week.
Yeah.
Did you have a stage bomb? You said you.
I already talked about my stage bomb last time.
So this is where we're gonna throw the bomb over to my side here.
Yes.
And you were actually at this bomb. I was doing stand-up.
It wasn't your fault though.
It wasn't my fault, but anytime I hear of the bomb, like my podcast, and people bring up their stand-up bombs, my brain immediately goes to this. Is I handled it well. But in the end, I look back on it like that was just a bomb, it
was a shitty night in general.
Yeah, I think I still have the footage on my phone.
You do. Yeah, I'm sure you do.
But getting into it, I was nearing the end of my grind in New Jersey. I knew that we were moving to Colorado. So I was trying to get as much stuff as I could. We made numerous trips to Dangerfields for the Bringer shows. Mm-hmm. Went to the Broadway Comedy Club, did the Industry Room, did the Red Room? Is what they called that? What was the upstairs one?
I think it was the Red Room. I don't remember.
Both the Red Room chick, I did not like her. It was like I did 3 or 4 Bringer shows, I did 3 Bringer shows. The fourth one was like, can we knock down my Bringer? She's like, I need my money. It's like, you haven't even been on site. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Either way. So we started doing all that stuff, and amazing comedian. One of the best comedians I've seen at an open mic level, James Hancock, thanked one of his buddies for getting him on a competition. So on Facebook, I was like, oh, is there still, like, I get in contact with him directly. I'm like, hey, is there still spots on this show? Because I've never heard of it. Right. It was in this this restaurant I never heard of. presented by a person I never heard of. Apparently, he was very established.
Yeah.
I texted her. He's like, yeah, man, like contact this person. It had so the reward for winning that.
Yeah.
The top 3 people would get tickets to LA, and they would not headline but feature in it wasn't huge. You were not talking about like the Improv or the Comedy Store or anything, but it's an LA comedy club, so
yeah,
that's one step in the right direction, against the fucking restaurant or whatever.
Right.
But in order to pay for that, I think it was a $10 charge for me to apply for that. So I apply for that, show up to this restaurant called A Taste of Heaven.
Yeah.
It's a soul food restaurant. And the dimensions of the room really didn't speak to like, hey, we should do stand up in this. Very long, very narrow, and no stage lights. As one of the important things I learned before that, when I was doing improv, the place I lived before, was there should be low light for the audience. There should be a white light for whoever's on stage, and it starts to set that audience performer like dynamic.
Right.
Get up there and everything's white light. The audience is white light. The fucking
I remember that. I was there.
I'm setting it up for everybody else too. Mm-hmm. I get there pretty early because I always do. I always get early to gigs just because my stomach and everything. I want to make sure that I've gotten all the poison out of my system before, the comedian before me gets up. Because once the comedian before me gets up, I'm like, everything's locked in. I can't run to the bathroom. So get all that shit out, literally. Mm-hmm. But starting to see the room fill up. And I was like, whatever. This is a regular crowd. And these guys, this is a restaurant. It's getting rowdy in here. Whatever. As soon as the show starts, everything's going to die down. It's a bringer show. Everybody knows a comedian here. They know, the etiquette and everything.
Right.
I could not have been more fucking wrong.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We get up there, or the host gets up there, and he might as well have not had a microphone in his hand. Mm-hmm. He
wasn't it a portable mic too?
Yes. So the very first wireless mic I've actually wanted to fucking use is the one over 3Es. Yeah. Every other wireless mic I fucking hate. The fucking cone of like receiving like the sound and everything.
Yeah.
None of them are right for wireless. I don't know what mic they have over 3Es, but that thing is fucking nice. The only problem is I lose my gag for the name's not the only thing that's long. Throwing the shit over my shoulder, but I'm willing to sacrifice for that good of a sound system.
Yeah.
But we get up there and the host gets up there and he's got these big ass stand up speakers, and where you're standing with the person standing, it's 4 feet away from you 6 feet away from you on your right side, 6 feet away from you on your left side. You're the closest motherfucker to these speakers.
Yeah.
So it's already fucking rowdy. He's trying to bring down the crowd. He walks amongst the crowd to like comment, hey, how's it going? We got a show start. Kind of like, yo, shut the fuck up kind of like vibes and everything.
Right.
And the only way I could equate this is the rowdiest school lunchroom you have ever been to in this crowd during a live show.
Yeah.
So I get up there and I watch some fucking killers just get ignored. Brian Isley.
Yeah.
James Hancock.
Uh-huh.
A couple guys out of New York, I believe I saw when I was at the Stress Factory.
Yeah.
Like just murders, just spoken over like they were painting, like not even doing stand-up. Like, so fucking rowdy. And where do you think I was on that set list before? Probably the 10th spot,
something like that.
It definitely instilled the fear in me that this is going to be a horrible fucking night.
Yeah.
But like James Hancock and I are talking back and forth, and we're giving
we were all sitting at the same table.
Yeah, him his then girlfriend. I don't think they was engaged, now wife, in San Diego. Yeah. We're talking to them, and we're just going. I'm looking back and forth with him. He's like, "What the fuck are we gonna do?" Yeah. And this is a killer comedian, like looking at me like, "This is gonna be a rough fucking night."
Yeah.
He gets up there. I think Black Panther just came out, so he was trying to do like a riff on that.
Yeah.
And it just didn't go over well, which is crazy because James Hancock, you could literally have him read the receipt of a fucking Chinese restaurant, and he'll somehow make it fucking funny. Yeah. He just wasn't getting any love. I get up there and So remember, I got a speaker 6 feet to my left, 6 feet to my right. And fucking, it is so insanely loud in there. I can't even hear my own voice. When I finally get a chuckle,
Yeah.
I am so taken off center. It threw my timing off that I was getting a fucking laugh.
Somebody could actually hear you.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm the closest one to these speakers, and I can't fucking hear me.
Yeah.
So, completely fucking bombs out. I'm pissed for the show.
Yeah.
I'm pissed for these I know what Brian Isley does. I know what James Hancock does. Those guys grind like a motherfucker.
Right.
And these guys are just blatantly disrespected. Like me, I'm kind of a schmuck grinder. It's like, I go out to do stand-up 2 or 3 times a week. Those guys are doing it somewhere between 4 to 6 times a week.
Right.
And to see those guys disrespected, like I said, like they were painting up there. Like, it was insanely rowdy. But then one of the comedians... And so what we noticed before we got up on stage was there was a table that was a bunch of tables put together. Mm-hmm. Looking back at this like COVID thing, I'm like, those guys are all giving each other the cold and the flu.
Yeah.
And everything. Like, they were literally like shoulder to shoulder yelling at each other's faces and everything. We noticed that all of these are from one comedian.
Yep.
So we're starting to give the stink eye to this one comedian. And like it's not even fucking registering that like, hey, could you unfuck these people?
Yeah, like could you like not like tell your bringers to shut the fuck up?
Yeah. And none of that was falling on deaf ears.
Yeah, no.
Like I think she was part of the problem.
Yeah.
Was she because she over animated and stuff, she's like yelling at the fucking crowd and everything. So she gets up there and you could have heard a fucking mouse fart in that place. It was so fucking quiet.
Yeah.
And it had to have been more than a dozen people. I would say closer to 2 dozen. She gets up there and just rips the fucking roof off that place with kind of material. I hate to hate on other comedians, but you kind of fucked up my vibe. You fucked up all these other comedians' vibes and everything. Right. Your material wasn't worth the price of admission.
Yeah,
And I haven't said any specific names. They might have even forgotten about this. So the reason why it
was good, but it wasn't like
holy shit, this chick is going to Comedy Central tomorrow kind of thing.
Right.
But the reason why I'm so bitter not only is that, but she took half the fucking room with her when she got off stage.
Yeah.
Literally, she pieced out and like all I'm like, well, we're done. Fucking gone.
And then the rest, like it was just crickets.
Got it. Yeah, and that's the thing. The rest of the fucking show was like dead silent.
Yeah.
But, like, all of us are so fucking disgruntled at this point as the comedians. We're just like, fuck this. So, when it comes to bombing, if you ask me my bomb, that will always be, like, my number one.
Yeah. And, again, not your fault. And, like, you did take responsibility for it. And, like...
But I watched the video back. I stayed in the pocket. I stayed looking at the crowd. I stayed on top of my stuff. But, like, I just fucking... I can't really... Yeah. I can't pull anything positive out of that. Yeah. I mean, I've bombed. I have bombed numerous times, but I can't think of anything on that level of just like hell. I think it's more of a hell gig. If you were to instead of a bomb, just an absolute hell gig. But it turns out that I think James Hancock won. I think Brian Isley won.
Yeah.
But it was a fake promise.
Yeah.
Was you had to pay for your tickets to go to LA.
Yeah.
And then they'll get you in the comedies. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't cover your hotel. They didn't cover your airplane and everything.
Anything.
I don't think anybody took up that offer. It's literally that gig was there. You just had to get to it. But I just paid $10 for your glorified open mic.
Yeah.
Where am I going to get $500 fucking to go from Philadelphia to LA?
That's a cheap flight.
Yeah. One way probably. But
and last minute. Because it wasn't.
I think it was like the next month or whatever. So
like
it was like astronomical prices. Can you think of any of my bombs? Have I bombed in front of you? I've kept my head above water barely.
Yeah.
But I can't think of absolutely shitting the bed in front of you.
Yeah, I don't know.
But usually when I bring you out, I already had the shit down pat and everything.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there was a couple times at High Note or like the W where it was kind of like, and then you told me to stop coming because every time that
So, well, it makes
Ow.
makes the actual performances cherished now. So when you actually come out,
Yeah.
I hope to bring you out the 3Es when I'm actually like opening and stuff. But it's all good. What's up? So one of the questions that I have yet to fully flesh out on the bomb questionnaire has been the fear of bombing. What do you fear of the future? One of the things, you cut hair. We're not talking about any of your previous failures that's going to risk your fucking employment and everything. What, moving forward, what would be your biggest, either you're fucking at you and like fucking give a chick a buzz cut, like.
No, like, well, I'm always afraid of messing up your haircut.
Yes, because mine has to be in such close parameters. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh my God. If I, like, nick off, like, if I'm not paying attention for yours and, like, but the clipper goes one wrong way, I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, that's true of pretty much all men's cut sucks. I was talking to Lou So, and her bomb was literally a fucking bare blade right up the back, reverse mohawk.
See, so that's one of the things, like, I haven't done that, but, like, I always start uber long because of that. Like,
I just remember just going around the edges first and then kind of dialing in from there. Yeah.
Like, well, I just remember, like, my haircut getting messed up that one time.
Yeah.
Well, 2 times.
I didn't even think about that. That could be a possible question for the bomb. Having a hair, that'd be more of towards our lady visitor. Well,
no, guys have had some really fucked up cuts.
Yeah. Well, you know where I got my haircuts before we met. So
butcher barbers.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, you were supposed to go in because you were in school at this point.
Mm-mm. No,
the one where you had your hair hacked back.
No, I had been graduated by that point. Graduated.
Oh, you were working with.
I was I helped out. I was helping out someone whose model dropped out at the semi last minute.
And that's supposed to be just changing color of your hair, right?
Yeah, they weren't supposed to cut it, but this guy who had been doing hair for 30 years, I guess he hadn't touched scissors since cosmetology school and had literally only
30 years.
had literally only done color since day one. But the guy, he literally took everything above.
It's basically your entire crown.
The parietal ridge, which is but it's everything above this area right here.
Yeah.
Like above, like where your head like dips in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything above that, took it above my head like a unicorn horn and fucking snipped. And I'm like, what have you done? Like, I literally had dog ears like this for way too long. Like, and then the rest of my hair was down to like
because the side of your head
past
is
my boob
still
line.
at length.
Like, yeah, like it was still long in the back. And he's like, oh no, it's the Rachel. And I'm like,
he said that?
Yeah.
That's how they came across the Rachel?
I was like,
is collecting the top of the head?
That is not how that works. Like, at least it was connected. Like, I don't fucking know.
Holy shit, man.
This has got stuff on it, Bubba.
And that was one of the things that you and I spoke of after you graduated school. Was just like, hey, dye it whatever fucking color you want. I'm down for whatever. Like, I'm living vicariously through you, with like creative hair color and everything. I was just like, please don't hack it off.
Right.
And, your day started, your appointment started, your modeling thing started as just changing the color of your hair. Ended up being that whoa, to unfuck that, they basically had to take it up to your lower jawline.
So after, it was right before Christmas that we did that happened. So for Christmas time, we put in like colorful extensions, like in the front. But then my skin is so sensitive. that it started to affect, like it started to get like really hurt me. So, and then I had to take them out. And that looks good for a long time, but like not like a long time, but like it looks good for a while. And then, but then I was like, okay, well, we're about to go on our honeymoon and my hair's still fucked. So.
Oh, is that what prompted the like getting it all tuned up on the same level and everything?
I was like, well, like maybe I should just bring it up a little bit in the back, and then it just got.
What I like though, so if you haven't been over to House SMD, Sam Masks and David, it's so weird, like actually like calling that, putting those letters out there. We have a slideshow on our Apple TV just showing up all these other things. One of my favorite photos from that time period when your hair was that short was when it was like platinum blonde. Like, yeah, I don't know what it is.
That was another rough one too.
Was that another bomb for cosmetology?
Kind of.
Really? So
it wasn't my fault. But,
what happened?
So I didn't have any clients that day, and the other girl that was in the salon with me, she wasn't supposed to have any clients that day.
Okay.
And she, so I was like, can we just like platinum card my hair? Like, let's like, fuck it, we had.
So that's like the entire thing?
I think I was off that day, and I like came in and like, can you, if you're not doing anything, like if you don't have any clients, like, can you do it? And like, I'll pay. Like, it's not like.
What was the name of it? Platinum
card.
Oh, platinum card. So the entire thing is supposed to be platinum?
Oh, yeah. Good one, baby.
Oh, was that a fart?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Did he shart? I mean, make it the bomb?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. He's got some
digestional issues there.
Not issues, but he's just upset at the moment. But I think it's just because of he's just trying to get stuff out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bubby.
So you said platinum card it.
So platinum card my hair. So basically it means that honey. Basically every piece of hair is placed inside a foil, and then you do the roots. Thing is that she started in the back, which was fine, but like by the time we got to the front, it was like, and I guess she had a client.
We might be pausing here for a second.
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
Hi, Bubby. You were saying that you liked this one picture, like when my hair is like super, super platinum.
Yeah.
So anyway, when the girl was doing my hair, she like didn't leave the front on long enough because she had not. I don't know what happened. It ended up being bad, and the front of my head was yellow, and the rest of it was like platinum.
Oh shit!
And when, like, a couple like days late, like a little bit later, we ended up putting like fashion colors on it, and
that's where
we were going to put blue up in the front, but it turned green. And it was horrible. It didn't look like it was. Yeah,
because you went whole unicorn after that, right? Yeah. Which you really haven't gotten to bad. You've not returned to since.
I mean, not last July. The July before that, I made it bright pink.
True, but nothing on the multicolored level like that.
I had a rainbow panel, when I was pregnant.
Nice.
You remember that? It was
my memory sucks.
It was
you lost the 90s. I lose 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. It wasn't too like it wasn't super noticeable, but it was there. Like it was cute though. It was really good. My Ginger did a good job on that one.
Nice. Good job, Ginger.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I don't know. That was just a lot.
Yeah.
Now that my hair is finally growing, it's like, hold on. Yay.
Yeah. It's almost to the length that we started dating on. dating?
My hair was shorter when we were dating.
Really?
When we first started dating, yeah.
Mm.
It was probably like collarbone length ish when we started dating, and then it got longer and longer and longer. And then I went to cosmetology school.
One of my coworkers
and then longer,
this
and then
week
shorter.
was asking about, because I said that you were a well-qualified person in one of your jobs, and she was asking me like, well, what's Sam's degree? And I was like, graphic design.
And then I got my license. And
one of the things that I was like, oh yeah, when we first started dating, Sam literally had to put her hair up and wear a fucking hoodie.
And wear a mask, and
before COVID was cool.
Before it was cool to wear a mask.
Because
Gesundheit.
Well, what I told her was the reason why you left graphics design was there's just so many fucking shiesty people using graphics designers, and that was the strongest example I had was in New Jersey, almost like the rest of the fucking country. It's illegal to smoke in your place of employment.
Yes, indoors.
And they own the business.
They own the building.
So they thought, oh, we can fucking smoke
in
here.
It's fine, but everything was ingrained with cigarette smoke.
Yeah. Which must have been great for customers that, didn't see the actual
It was like a t-shirt design place. Like the fact
t-shirts
that, all of the
Were they doing shit like this?
No. It was like t-shirts and sweatshirts, like a screen printing shop.
Yeah.
It was like t-shirts and sweatshirts and
because like some of the first photos you sent me was like the Kenny like level hood.
I know. I had
around
to
your hair.
wear a hat because I'm highly allergic to cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
Like it breaks out in hives, and like I thought I could handle it, and then they're like,
well at that point too, weren't you on a medication that makes other people sensitive to cigarette smoke as well?
Yeah.
So you had like a triple whammy on there.
Yeah.
But that's what I told her. She's like, oh, I get it. Like, I can see. And I also told her that, like, we're going to be moving around a lot in our adult years. So you might as well find. Everybody needs a haircut around the country. So,
yeah.
You go cut some Amish hair, too. Getting back to our short list of questions, though. I guess we found puked on there.
Yeah. So, when I lived in New York City, a few of my friends the three of us used to go out a lot. There's this place called the 13th Step, and
because what 12-step program is the AA.
Yeah.
What 13th falling off the horse.
Yeah. Anyway, we got schmammered at this bar, and I got so drunk that I there was this you're supposed to walk down the stairs to go to the bathrooms.
Okay.
And I'm standing at the top of the stairs, and I puked down the stairs, and then I find my two friends, and I'm like, listen guys, we gotta go. We have to go right now. We can go to another bar, but we have to leave this place.
That reminds me of a bomb we had while you were pregnant.
Oh Jesus.
Because we were in the old house, bi-level house, steps up, steps down. Your parents just bought us brand new carpets.
No, we bought that. They paid for half of it.
Oh, they pay her. Okay. Either way, that was not all of our money.
Yeah.
At that point, that must have been around.
It was around fall time. Because it was
pumpkin spice donuts
from Dunkin'.
So at this point, COVID procedures and my work, I was at home. I think it was work only. Was if we had a job, we had to go do the work. But we weren't sitting around the shop. So I went and grabbed breakfast for myself. Or no, I was working afternoons. That's what freed me up in the morning. I go get you donuts. I go get my breakfast, which was chicken. At the time, I had to eat that in the car before I got home.
Oh, that was really bad. Yeah.
But I got you a dozen fucking pumpkin spice donuts.
Yeah.
So I'm downstairs. I don't think I'm getting ready for work. I'm just doing stuff downstairs. And you're like, I hear I can't move. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
So my back was really, really bad when I was pregnant.
Yeah, he was fucking up your spine.
Everything. And my herniated disc was just my back spasmed and I couldn't move.
So
and
4 stairs up, I believe.
Yeah.
Right?
And then I just vomited everywhere, like right on that stair. And I'm like,
You're like,
I
David,
couldn't even move.
David.
Yeah.
So I come up the stairs, and they're not that wide to get two people past, and you're standing dead center. And you're like, help me. And I'm like, how? I can't walk past you because I'm going to get puke on me. Like, this is so fun. So I think because you were holding like this, just puking in between your hands. Like, I grabbed the donuts out of your hands.
Well,
I take them
I
downstairs.
I was leaving for work.
Yeah, you were ready to go.
Like, I had grabbed my lunch. I had grabbed like the rest of the donuts and like was gonna go inside and to like leave to go to work.
And you're just paralyzed, puking all over the top the first three stairs.
Really bad.
It took a while to get out. Did we get that out before we rented it out, or is that still that's staying?
I am not.
Your mom did a pretty good job getting it up the first time.
But like every time that there's like it gets like damp or something, it turns dark again, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to change that out.
Yeah, fuck, those were really good donuts.
I don't know if they're worth it anymore.
Well, not puking and fucking up carpets,
no.
but another thing, it's the last one on our short list this week, is injuries. And I know that you do not want to go snowboarding or anything on the snow. And
well, no, I can ski. I can ski like I'm a very good skier. I'm very good at skiing.
Okay.
I've been skiing since I was like basically 18 months old. Like as soon as I could walk. I put on skis, like kind of thing. So.
But one of the things that we're saying when I asked any embarrassing injuries, you're just like almost every time
every time I've gone snowboarding, I've gotten injured. The first time I ever went snowboarding, it was in 5th grade, and me and my best friend at the time, we went snowboarding, and
Where at?
Hunter Mountain.
Where's that?
I don't know, New York somewhere.
Okay.
I lost control of the snowboard and me on it. And
so you're going too fast for you to turn, or are you going too fast for you to?
We were on our way to the lift. We were on our way to the lift.
So you're going
So
uphill.
we're over here, downhill, but like we were over here, the lift's over here, and then it's like down-ish, but we were on the snowboard, and I lost control of the snowboard. So I don't know if you know with like ski lifts. The lift's here, but like in front of like where people like where it goes up, they have this like roped off area. My snowboarding ass like went through like and hit the line, and I smacked my right wrist down onto the snow. And it was hard, and I was like caught in between like the ropes, and like it was and like I'm like, oh my god, is the ski gonna fall on my head? Like because I was underneath where they were going up, and
oh fuck,
it was a whole thing.
Did you?
Was it 5th grade? No, it was after that. It may have been after that.
Did you? What was the injury? Did you break your wrist? Or?
I fractured the growth plate in my right wrist.
Boy.
So there was that, and then no, it was definitely after 5th grade. I don't remember. Anyway, and then I think another time I went snowboarding. It was right before my 16th birthday.
Where'd you go?
Sugarbush in Vermont.
Okay.
We used to do a trip every year to Sugarbush, and I thought it would be so cool to be snowboarding and blah 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 blah. So me, my sister, and a couple of like one of our friends or something. I don't remember. Was it
you were watching the X Games? You thought all those were cool, or
no? Like because I didn't like walking in ski boots. And
it is a rather awkward walk.
Yeah, and the snowboarding boots are a lot easier and more comfortable. And snowboarding just seemed cooler. Like going over to the dark side, blah blah blah, whatever. But Lexi had done it first, and she was really good at it. I thought I'd be good at it. I'm not good at it. Right. But I caught an edge really, really bad on this one hill, and we were on the opposite side of the mountain. That what we would normally see. We're on like the Mary Jane side, not the like Sugarbush side. So
What do you mean you caught an edge where you turned way too hard, or
No,
so I'm
like
not
there
familiar
was.
with the shit.
So when you're snowboarding, it's like this a little bit better. So you're snowboarding.
Stand by. Okay,
You're
here we go.
snowboarding and like you go, like you have to turn and then go, like turn it this way, like to do an actual turn.
Oh, so
you're
angling
facing
your
up the mountain.
board isn't what turns it. It's pushing against that
Yeah.
the bottom part.
Yeah. So
in
instead of just
correlation with that.
sliding down like this, like facing the front of the mountain or backwards,
Facing
you're
up the mountain.
facing up the mountain.
Okay.
You're supposed to turn and then turn, like switch your back leg and then so on and so forth. And then I again caught a bad edge and I flipped. And
So in an attempt to steer,
Yeah.
you catch enough snow to stop.
yeah, don't you own a snowboard?
I do. I've owned a snowboard since 13. I have never used it.
We're probably never going to use it,
No.
honestly.
The one time I've ever been on one, I was in freshman year of high school on a hill that's like this. Terrified how fast that fucker went.
So
it was a really
maybe we'll
good
get
sail.
you on some skis. We'll get you on some
No,
skis.
I don't want to go on anything.
Well, we're gonna take
That's
Max
too much
skiing,
speed
so
for me.
We're gonna take Max skiing. So
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I will be drinking my tequila down in the lounge and watch you guys tear it
perfect.
up.
You can hang out with our stuff.
Yeah.
I'll
be doing
so anyway,
the
so
open
I
mic
took
in the lounge.
I again caught a bad edge and flipped, and my shoulder hit the snow, and I flipped over again, and it
Did you
cracked.
scorpion with it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It cracked my collarbone. It was really bad.
Ow.
Yeah.
No concussion though, because you're just.
I'm
basically
sure I got a concussion. I don't
face-planted on
remember.
that.
I probably got a concussion every single time that I've gone snowboarding. So, then there was another time. I don't remember. Was it Steamboat? I don't remember if it was Steamboat. Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Oh, nice. You've been out. You were out here in Colorado before
Yeah.
we found out we're coming out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Colorado multiple times.
Ah.
Like out west ski trips. Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is the furthest west I've ever been in my
Breckenridge
entire life.
and Steamboat Springs and Winter Park, and like there was one that I couldn't go on to Jackson Hole,
Okay.
Wyoming, because I was broken at some point. I don't remember. Another ice related
You and I, so.
accident. But yeah, so we it was super icy again, snowboarding because dumb, and it was a moguls, so I like the ice was so bad because there hadn't really been snow. It was just like, you know how it is in Colorado, things melt pretty quickly.
Yeah,
and then freezes back over.
Fucking random out here.
So we ended up just going up, and I fell so hard onto my butt that I broke my tailbone.
What led up to that?
I don't remember.
Oh, is that fucking traumatizing? You
Yeah.
just remember the fucking.
I just remember landing super hard on my tailbone.
Fuck.
And then having to sit on a donut pillow
for months,
a
probably.
very long time.
I bruised my tailbone. That was some of the longest 2 months of my life. I couldn't imagine breaking that.
Yeah, it was
fucking bone.
it was very painful. And then the other ice related injury, I was at an ice skating rink watching a hockey game, for a high school hockey game. And there was a ramp where the players would walk up, and that ramp led up to
I was gonna glaze over that, but
led up to where the spectators are supposed to sit.
Okay.
And the squishy stuff so that their blades the ice skates don't get destroyed.
You talking about the protective stuff they walk around on?
Yeah.
I thought that was just
not
it's
on the
plastic.
blades, not on the blades, but the ones that are on the floor everywhere.
Oh, that kind of like the workout mats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Like the high density ones.
Yeah. So so it one of those like things had slid over. So I thought it was stepping on hard ramp and the stuff.
Yeah.
And the squishy stuff, and it was just squishy stuff, and my like broke my ankle.
Fuck.
That
sounds like a lawsuit to
junior
that
high school?
fucking ice rink.
It didn't happen, but it came close. Yeah, I don't know.
I've only been in an ice rink, especially for hockey. Actually, yeah, the only time I've been in an ice rink was for hockey games, for like a college level hockey. And I remember I wasn't paying attention what was going on the ice over here. I was paying attention what was going on over here, and they just hear like, oh shit, like everybody's losing their minds. And the chick I'm with, I was like, what happened? She's like, he's got stepped on. I'm like, wait, what? So as he's getting like wheeled around to come around my side, there's this blood pouring down the back of his thing. Yeah, he literally took the skate like in between the shoulder blades.
That's not
so
good.
Yeah,
not good at all.
Fuck that.
But yeah, so that's the bombs that I've got.
Oh man. Trying to think of anything embarrassing we have together. I don't think we have anything this week.
Not this week.
Well, if we do record in the future, we'll have this. We'll have this built up for. We'll have a whole stockpile of things. So.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out some other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay on theme. Stay on topic.
Well, I know we brought this up in the Dan podcast, but about Max's first blowout.
Oh yeah, we could talk about that.
Max had we already talked about that one.
Yeah, well, there's two different podcasts, and this is how you tease across the two there. So,
well, Max has his first blowout.
Actually, yeah. So you texted me yesterday saying you had his first blowout.
No, Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
You're experiencing your first blowout.
Yeah.
So let's go over that real quick.
I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden he was like, right, and then and he was just like, and then he goes, And like, I was like,
hold on a second, go over that again.
He's like, Wah! And then,
That was good.
Yeah, he's like, and then he's like, I like snuggling with mommy, and like kind of like going like in between my boobs, like and then
you just hold on to a shit sandbag at this point.
And then I'm holding him, and I smell that very distinct baby poop, sickly sweet.
Do you think that's
smell.
the breast milk or the formula or a combination of both?
Both. I think it's
both.
Mostly breast milk, actually, honestly. Because if you smell my breast milk, you guys.
Does it smell like that?
It does.
Oh god.
It does. But not gross, but it's got a sweet-ish smell to it.
Okay.
But thankfully, he'll drink it because it's sweet. But I haven't tasted it, but I smelled it before, and
yeah, I haven't smelled it, but his is weird just because it's not a bad smell, but because it's associated
it's
with
distinct.
The horrifyingness of his diaper.
It's not that bad, David. It's really not that bad.
So one of the diapers that I saw, this is last week. There was little pellets of stuff in there, and I was like, "Is that fat? What is that?" And I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So when we were doing the mass batch of formula for one of his daycare things, I was noticing that the formula wasn't breaking down; it was beating up. And I think that is what happened. Because I was like, because you heard me in the room, I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this diaper? You're like, what? Is he okay? I'm like, do you think I'd be this calm? I'm like, I just want to know what the fuck. So I'm pretty sure though that that formula just went right through his system.
Yeah,
it looks like fatty whatever substance in his diaper. That was pretty fucking weird.
No, but it went up his back.
Oh yeah, so let's continue on that.
Yeah,
so he's like, "Ooh, let me cuddle."
Yeah, and then I'm like, "What?" Yeah, ooh. I'm like, and I was like, "Well, all right, we'll just go change your diaper again since we literally just changed it." And then I feel his back, and I'm like, no fucking way. Yeah. Ooh. You're so funny. So we got, thankfully I had a change of clothes in the diaper bag.
Oh yeah, where were you when all this went
I was
down?
at Olive Garden.
Oh, that's where I get diarrhea too, kid. So
Yeah, but like it's not like I fed him. It's not like I fed him while like.
So staff was like, "You already gave him the food. I wouldn't recommend that." I fucking hate Olive Garden.
It's
You know the
just
best part of Olive Garden is leaving. Fucking hate Olive Garden.
I mean, I really like the salad, and that lasagna is pretty good.
Well,
And the
so
breadsticks, man.
half my
Here's
problem
the
with the Olive Garden is the horrifying person that I was dating at the time. You know, might have a slight relation to
Yeah, probably.
everything.
But no, that's where me and Ginger go sometimes.
I'm sorry,
Like,
Ginger.
we've only done
I'll help you guys go to a different restaurant.
We've only been there twice, but like we go other places too. But like she used to work there, so it was one of those like, let's go back.
The breadsticks I remember being edible, but like the
If
salad,
they're nice and warm.
yeah, well, that's true of almost any bread. The salad though, I remember him like just putting cheese on there. I was like, I don't care. I want to leave.
Yeah.
And I remember the pasta being too soft too. You know me with pasta. If it's too
Yeah,
soft, I'm
weird.
fucking done with it. So
No, I like their lasagna. It's very good.
what was that other place in Jersey?
Brio.
Yeah. Is that a chain that's only in Jersey or
No, it's other places too. Hi. Yeah. Tell me more.
So, all right.
I think we need to.
Need to wrap up
Yeah.
because we got a whole bunch of stuff to clean around the house.
Yeah.
Here, so.
And we also need to spend some time with that baby.
Mm-hmm.
We got to spend time. Yeah, you. Yeah, we get to spend time with you. And do some exercises and some tummy time.
I'm trying to think of. So if we're going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
My biggest bomb with the kids so far. Let's see.
Well, we haven't dropped them.
We have not dropped him. That's the ultimate thing. We haven't dropped him like a bomb
No
yet.
drops. No drops.
Fuck, I'm trying to think
There
of
wasn't
something.
even like hasn't even been any like myth like.
Like,
almost.
ooh, that was close.
Yeah, like there hasn't been any of those either. So like, yay, we're good parents in that regard.
I think a consistent bomb about a month or two, month and a half ago. He pisses in between diapers, but not in a because when you think of boys, you pull off that diaper and then they pee on you. With him, it was pulling that off, getting on the new one, and right as you're strapping it down, he's
out the side.
fucking matrixes it to his fucking shirt, and he's like, "Oh, not
Well,
only
we
do I
just-
need a diaper change, I also need to change your clothes now."
Yeah.
So,
But like I've gotten really like good at changing his diapers because they're like, yeah, because I'm a ninja at it. Like I go real like, oh yeah, no, it's time, baby. I know. So I've gotten really good at changing his diapers and like knowing when it's time. Like, all right, when like, oh shoot, got to make sure that's on there.
yeah.
Or like.
Make sure he's at half staff or full staff.
Like, and also like timing, like I can run to the side, grab another diaper and not have it like ready to go, like kind of thing.
Have
so
you been peed on yet?
only once.
Yeah, he's got my hand.
He's
But that was
gotten
as I
you
was-
a couple times. Let's be honest.
No, he's only peed on my hands.
I don't know if you're the best at putting on the diapers, honestly.
No, I'm
like,
saying
you know, when
as a
okay.
father of a boy, I have not been peed on except
Well,
for my
I haven't
hands.
been peed on either.
Well,
but
and that's what I'm saying is
he's just peed on himself.
my
a lot.
mom apparently after I peed in her hair is when she hacked all her hair off. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's just pee.
And how close are you to your baby? The baby's peeing in your hair.
Like,
Overpowered water fountain.
and to be honest, it's literally just pee. It's not a big deal. You just shampoo it twice. You're fine.
Well, there's ammonia in pee, so you really don't even have to shampoo.
You still have to shampoo. But no, it's just she hacked up all her hair.
Yeah. That's what she told me while she was here last time. She's like, yeah, the reason I cut my hair back was because you peed in it. Like, okay.
Like, I don't get that. But okay. Cool. Whatever.
Now you know. That's what you do with that information. Now you know. Alrighty, well, that was the bomb with Family SMD, Sam, Max, and David.
SMD edition. Ooh.
There we go. We still got to get that logo spun up if we're going to continue to do these things. But
Hey, Bippa.
alrighty, Hattie. Well, I love you.
I love you.
It's going to be another interesting edit near the end.